Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Montez McCAMISH. You are now watching the Meade County Local and an extension of that, Hardin County Local. We're in Radcliffe, Kentucky today, and I've got this interview for you. And before we go into it, I'm going to just let you know that this interview, it could go lots of different ways here, from catering to leadership to counseling to history to it's really could be profound. But I'm going to ask some questions to her, and you can ask questions in the comment box. She'll do her best to respond to them on Facebook if she has time, because she's very, very busy. Without further ado, please tell the ladies and gentlemen your name and what it is you do.
Aundra Jackson. I am the owner and CEO of Miss Aundra's Catering and Bakery here in Radcliffe, Kentucky.
So, tell me a little bit about you growing up. What was growing up like for you?
Well, I'm a native of Alabama, Evergreen, Alabama. Growing up for me in the South was a lot different than what the growing up in the South is about now. But we started out as kids and learning the responsibilities that our parents taught us to be good stewards at home, and always that church that begins at home and it spreads abroad. So that's my most humbling way I could say it, where I started it as a child.
How was school? Were you good at school?
School was good. I was in segregation, of course. I'm born in 1957, and we was not segregated until I went to middle school. So elementary school was all black school, and very, 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 very important, because the teachers there was about teaching us our history, what we're not seeing in the schools today. So because we had the history of knowing who Martin Luther King was, and upon his deathbed in elementary school, oh my God, you would think that everybody dad had been sent to war and they all was killed, because that was a big thing when Martin Luther King had died, and they sent the news to the school, and the teacher was crying, and we were wondering why they was crying, because we were still young, didn't have the real understanding, why they was crying, because Martin Luther King had been assassinated. But then we learned. So therefore, that's very profound for us now, because the things that he said then, we are able to walk in those things. My kids are able to enjoy the life that they're enjoying now. Because he said one day, our little kids will walk hand in hand with those blacks and whites and everybody else. So therefore, they have the opportunity today to be able to be I guess I would say, a protocol of Martin Luther King and what he stood for, and what he saw in the midst of saying that I could see in the mountaintop where we one day would be. We have not achieved, we have not got there, but we're achieving, and we're still striving to become who God wants us to be.
So, a lot of times when we find something we like to do, someone's brought it to us, and I wanted to ask you about cooking and catering. What brought that to you?
Well, I share with my granddaughter that's 7 years old. At 7, I knew how to cut up collard greens. That was a responsibility in the South, that you have cooked, you have washed. We did a lot of things. So I began cooking as very young, 8 years old. We used to have a little little small, I can't even think, easy bake. And so therefore, we used to make our own little cakes, put them in a little pan, put it in a little oven, and that's how we began cooking. So then we began to cook cakes, we began to cook, like I said, collard greens, or whatever Mom had, we was doing what she had given us to do.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have a total.
Yes.
I grew up, 6 of us grew up together, but it's a total of 12.
Oh, wow.
So therefore, I have brothers in California, a sister in California, I have a sister in South Carolina, Alabama, brothers in Alabama, brothers in California. So we are a knitted family, and so my kids, even though they're military brats, as they would say, they have a value of family because we have taught them that family always sticks together.
They say food is something that you just can't really forget. There's that special dish, that one dish. What's one thing that stuck out for you? What's one dish that just sticks out for you?
I think I'm good at all my cooking. I don't know because everybody has something different that they like. So my specialty I would say for desserts are red velvet cakes. For meat would be fried chicken because everybody seems to want fried chicken. A lot of people want collard greens, but I was just like, if y'all got 50 or more and I have to do a case of greens, I'm gonna have to charge more because it's a lot of work. But macaroni and cheese, potato salad, it's just so many specialties that different people want me to cook for them. Someone told me, can I place an order for some cabbages? I said, when you need them? They said, Wednesday. I'm gonna cook it today because I'll be gone on Wednesday. So therefore, it's just different things that people like. So everything is just, I don't know. You have talked to Alicia, she could be a witness. Mm-hmm. She think my chicken spaghetti is the best for her. She think that my spaghetti is good for her. She loves to eat, so therefore, everything good for Alicia.
All right, so when it comes to like when you're cooking, like a lot of people say when they cook it, they want you to feel with their emotions that goes into the food. They want you to taste the love that's into the food. When you're cooking, where do you go in your mind? What are you thinking? Are you just diligently working away? Are you in prayer? Or what are you doing?
Yeah, I do start with prayer. One lady talked to me at New Hope Baptist Church when I cooked for them in December for their ministers and wives and deacons and wives. They was like, I've never been to a table where everything tastes good. And my answer was to her that I prayed to God that the food and the taste bud, that everybody that eat, their taste bud be met. So it was met for everybody. And I'm like, wow, that was awesome to be able to get that, her to share that with me, that everything was good. They had collard greens, they had potato salad, mashed potatoes, they had yams, they had collard greens, they had fried chicken, they had dressing. Oh, they had the works. It was a Christmas dinner, so they had the works.
So I guess everybody at the house, they just love it when you get to cooking, huh? Mm-hmm. They just love it. Holidays. What is your favorite holiday to cook for? Like if you could pick just one, what would it be?
I would say Thanksgiving.
Why?
Because that seemed like the time that all of my kids could come home. Because 3 of them being married, they have to take time with the other family, and I share that with them. It was very good for me and their dad because we're both from Alabama and we live like 20 miles apart. So we could do the morning at my mom, the evening at his mom, but they got a spread. My daughter, we live here in Kentucky. Her husband, people's in Indianapolis. My oldest daughter, she lives in Georgia. His people lives in Virginia. So you got to space it out. So we try to let Thanksgiving be the conclusiveness that we all come together. So Thanksgiving would be the most.
They say food brings people together, just like you said, Thanksgiving brings people together. So like serving and catering, I'd like to know, like, what kind of people have you catered? Like, what are some people you just, oh wow, like you said, the church. That must have been a blessing getting that out of the catering. Like, tell us some more of people that you've catered or some experiences maybe.
Okay, even this week, last week, Tuesday, I catered for the Radcliffe Small Business here at Carbon Community Center. That was really good because the Lieutenant Governor was their guest speaker. So it was just awesome for me. I was like, I'm gonna give them something free. So I said, I'm gonna make a punch bowl cake because we have the honor to have the Lieutenant Governor to be the guest speaker. So we want to make sure that she have a good meal when she comes. So the Radcliffe Small Business has been a blessing, and that was my second time catering for them. And they said everybody loved the food. They had meatloaf, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, tossed salad, rolls, cornbread. So that was great for them. So that was one. And then on Thursday, which I do every Thursday for the Rotaries of Radcliffe, I do whatever I want to do for them. And sometimes I ask them, what do you think you would like to have next week? Everybody love. I have one that love pork chop. I have one, many of them that love fried chicken. I have one that loves spaghetti. So I try to mix it up each week because I'm coming every Thursday. So they have been really a blessing to me. And then Saturday, we had Shining the Light on Military Women's. That was a huge one. So therefore, they wanted collard greens, they wanted fried chicken, they wanted roast beef, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans. So we had everything. We had red velvet cake, punch bowl cake, sweet tea, water, you know. They enjoyed, everybody enjoyed. That just gives joy to my heart that when they enjoy the food, I have succeeded.
Yeah, I can see it just bleeding through my screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all can see it on the screen. This woman loves to cook. Shows you love to cook. If you don't believe it, you can see it. You can see
I love to cook.
Yeah.
I do love to cook.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, when it comes to cooking and you're cooking the food, is there something that you whenever, like maybe when you're done with the cooking, do you eat? Or do you taste of it? How do you know when it's done? Like, I mean, sure, temperature is set this long. Do you eat of it while you cook or no?
I taste to make sure the seasoning is just right. Mm-hmm. I make sure I taste. So therefore, and then afterwards, after everyone eat, of course I want me a plate. And I already did taste. I'm like, oh my God, they had no more roast beef there. I gotta make that for my family now. So, you know, I love cooking.
What about the night before? Say someone's put it in an order and you get it. Do you go to sleep? You get ready to think about what we're gonna cook, or like give me how does that go down? What does that look like?
Well, I have a menu. I mean, and basically, one lady just asked me, she wanted me to do her 65th birthday next Tuesday. And she said, well, what are some of the foods you cook? I told her, there's nothing I can cook. She like, what? So I began to go through my book that I have there, that I show her the different foods that I've cooked from different ones. And so then she's like, oh, do you think I can get collard greens? I said yes. But her number is smaller than, saying 100 people.
So you do cater to smaller groups?
Yes.
What's the smallest that you will cater to?
I don't really have a number. If someone tell me they want me to cater, if it's 10 people, then it's 10 people. If that's what they can afford, then that's fine with me. But my smallest one that I cater for now is 20.
Very well. What is the largest number that you'd like to cater for?
I don't really have a number. You know, I believe as I build, I can go higher. So therefore, I'm at 100 plus right now. So it's just based upon what the people need. And when the lady first talked to me, she said, we got 180 plates. I'm like, wow. But we would give you that number on Monday. And so the church, where the pastor is going to speak for them at the program on Sunday, the church is not going to come, so that decreased, so that we're at 105. But I always do 10% over, so I'll prepare for like 120, so that we can make sure we don't run out of food. That's one of my pet peeves. Do not ever run out of food, because you need to make sure everybody eats.
Right. When it comes to servicing people and actually going out and dropping the food off, what kind of location are we talking here? What kind of distance? How far?
Well, I'm not going no further than 5 miles to the church that I have. My biggest one is there. Most of my service is here at the community center. The Radcliffe Women's Club, I'll cater them here. Like I said, the Radcliffe Small Business, I'll cater them here. The Rotary of Radcliffe, I cater them here. A lot of them use this facility to be able to, in the Shining Light on Military Women. So I did 4 to 5 different businesses here. And then, of course, I have baby showers that I did. I even did my husband's surprise 60th birthday here So, and I have done the cooking. So I've did many, so I probably have 10 different occasions that I've done here at the community center.
You know, that's something that I would like to speak on too. Like, there's a lot of people they ask, you know, hey, you know, where can I get my work? Where can I get my work involved in? Like, whether or not they're cooking or whether or not they're trying to sell a book. And so I would like to talk about relationships. You said that you do a lot of your work here at the Colvin Community Center. And so it's like, I would like you to talk a little bit about relationships and how your relationships have allowed you and granted you to be able to access this building when necessary, pretty much. Like, please speak on that.
Well, I started out volunteering here at the community center almost 5 years ago. So my relationship built there because I started working and volunteering with the seniors. There's actually some of them downstairs on today, and they come in on Fridays. This is the time they get away from home and be able to come in to play bingo, have breakfast. Sometimes we prepare breakfast for them.
Like an adult daycare, maybe?
No, it's a senior citizen.
Oh, senior citizens.
You have to be 60 years old.
Oh, to come hang out.
So 60 and above, they can come here, and it's a free service that's given by
Military? Is it military?
no,
Oh, just anyone, huh?
yeah.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Yeah, about 60 years old, 60 years young. But they have the senior citizen. They should have that in Meade County. I know they have it in Elizabethtown. They have that everywhere where seniors meet up. Oh, I believe they have it there.
I'm just thinking about the VFW, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
No, it's a senior program that's for the seniors, and they go to the different facilities. They come here to Hardin, they go to Hilltop there in E-Town. I don't know where they go.
Well, I guess
Vine Grove, they go to the City Hall in Vine Grove.
I don't know. That's the question. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, where do we have that going on in Meade County, please? Like, 'cause I don't know. I'm kind of stumped there. Tell us more about that. So, like, the relationships. I'm sorry for interrupting.
So the relationship I have built with the number of directors here. So therefore, I got my license with the city of Radcliffe first to be able to be a caterer, and that's been 8 years ago. Wasn't doing any cooking then, but I just wanted the license. And then when I decided that I wanted to, of course, you gotta have insurance because they have to be on record. You gotta have so many millions for cooking in case somebody decided they want to sue you. So then I got my license. Then you had to go through the health department to get your clearance and know how your food's supposed to be, temperature and all of that.
Stressful.
So all of that stuff is here.
Stressful?
No.
No? Kind of easy breezy? What?
It ain't easy breezy, I would say, because you got to remember everything within 2 hours, and then you got to pass the test, for the health department. Because they want you to be able to know, what your food's temperature is supposed to be. So therefore, that's important. So I just made sure I got all my paperwork together in order, and that's history.
Let's just say there is someone out there that's younger and they're wanting to get involved in the food industry or even just catering or just even in anything at all. Pursuing their goal, going up and going after and doing it. Doing is usually the hardest part. Could you please talk to these people, maybe give them a spill of like maybe how doing it, like, can you talk to them, please?
Well, I have to first tell them they got to know cooking. And you say young people? Oh, I need to meet them. For most young people don't like to cook. I'm serious about that. Most young people don't like to cook. But if that's a desire, and they might just be a cake designer. And so if they want to get involved with that, you have to say you got to take one step.
At a time.
Then you got to take the second step. Then you got to take a third, fourth step.
Yeah.
And then you go where you got to go, starting, like I said, with the health department, because they're going to want you to have that clearance. So you can call any health department and tell them you want to go through the training for food services.
Now, is there any kind of thing out there that you might want to tell ladies and gentlemen that they may not know about you that we may not have talked about in your business? Is there something that you might want to tell the ladies and gentlemen?
I would tell them, well, I guess one thing I would say, first I would think that you need to have God ahead of everything that you do. And then if you have God ahead of what you do, then God will lead you through what you want to accomplish. And you can succeed. Because who? You're going to trust him in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he'll direct the path. So therefore, if you trust him, I believe that's where we got to start at. Because I always say, God, I trust you. So wherever you have for me to go, it's mine. And I just believe that totally. And that's what I've taught my kids, that whatever your desire, the sky's the limit. As we used to hear all the time in Alabama. There's nothing you can't do if you put your heart, your mind, and your soul into it. But you got to enjoy what you're doing.
That's so true. All right, look, I'm going to leave us on one last thing, but this is kind of a little bit different here. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all have watched, y'all already know how we get down. I just want to leave by letting you ask the community, the Meade Countyans, the Meade County locals, the Hardin County locals, and hopefully soon the Radcliffe locals, a question. Ask them a question on the camera so they can answer it for you. What question might you have? Any question at all?
A question that I might have, what is your goal in life? What mark would you like to leave when you're gone? And your name is there. What can they say about you and what you've accomplished?
Powerful, powerful stuff. I appreciate you so much for being on. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this interview. And again, if you all would like to get in contact and would like to get catering, tell them how they can do so.
You can call me at 270-317-3827. And you can leave a message and let me know you're interested in catering. It is Miss Aundra Catering and Bakery, Radcliffe, Kentucky.
This film was created by itsmontez.com. Get yourself a real content creator. Duh.